out there, standing in the welfare line, lying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, talking about a revolution sounds like a start. Poor people gonna rise up to get what's theirs, something like that. Poor people gonna rise up and take what's theirs. One city gonna run, 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 run. Don't you know you're gonna run, 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 run. 'Cause finally the tables starting to turn. Talking about a revolution. 'Cause finally the tables starting to turn. Talking about a revolution. Talking about a revolution. Talking about a revolution.
Awesome! A little bit out.
Congratulations, Mr. Guru. Would you like to sign here?
Go fuck yourself.
Go on, Stager. Watch it live, brother. I bet he's got one. There we go. Do you want some more flyers, guys? I've got loads here. Yeah, share them between you. Thank you so much.
Observable, something elseable, something elseable signs. This is one of the ironies, the sweet irony.
Did they give you a flyer?
Well, I mean...
Do you speak Spanish a little bit?
Yeah, I speak Spanish, but actually...
Because we're not asking people to believe anything, we're just asking people to check for themselves. With a thermometer, you can check that Moonlight chills water. With a video camera, you can check
what?
that...
Sorry?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's unbelievable, but it's so easy to check. You put a glass of water in your garden, in the moonlight, direct moonlight. You put another glass of water, you check the temperature's the same beforehand, obviously you get it from the same bottle or tap, and you put that in the shade, yeah? So you check the temperature before, it's the same. You leave it half an hour, that's dropped, that hasn't. As long as it's the waning phase, everyone that does the experiment gets the same results. Are you going to believe your thermometer, or are you going to believe that NASA have walked on a piece of rock that reflects moonlight? Because if it reflected reflected sunlight, it would be 12% of the sun, as they say, so it would be 12% giving warmth. But it chills water. They say that the moon is rock, reflecting sunlight, and that we receive 12% of the sunlight reflected from the moon's face surface.
Right, yeah.
Well, if that was true, we'd be receiving 12% of warm light, not cold or maybe, I don't know if it gives cold or if it takes heat, but I know that it chills water within half an hour. And if you use a magnifying glass, instead of just going down 2 or 3 degrees, it goes down even more. So what are you going to believe? Your magnifying glass, your thermometer, and your primary observation of doing a scientific experiment that other people have done and said that they've got the same results? Or are you going to just say, no, NASA have walked on the moon, they showed me a video, I believe the video. That's not science. So the next one is, you make a video of a star or a planet, and you'll see that the planets aren't rock, and the stars aren't balls of fire. They're like electric, and you can see them with high resolution, yet they say, oh, the twinkle's distortion because it's light years away and all the debris in the space, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you check it with a camera, you won't see any broken image, you won't see any mirrored image, you won't see any blurriness, you'll see geometric shapes changing very fast. So you watch the video in slow motion and you can appreciate there's no distortion. And the last one is the most simple. At water level, no matter what distance you look, You never lose landscape behind curvature. Yet mathematics says that after 20 kilometers, 15 miles, you're supposed to lose quite a lot. After 20 miles, you're supposed to lose 80 meters. But that photo disproves that, because I see buildings in the daytime. I took this photo, and I ask you to check for yourself. I can even see street lights along the beach 20 miles away. Yet it's supposed to be 80 meters drop. Yet I see the street lights, and I can look 100 miles from Blackpool to the Isle of Man, and I can see the Isle of Man. And it's supposed to be 1,000 something meters drop. So it's not that math's wrong. It's not that my eyes lying or my telescope or my camera's lying to me. It's that ball that we see on television isn't true. And when you see it spinning, look at the clouds in half a rotation. That's 12 hours supposedly. Watch the clouds. They don't move. They're lazy. They're not as good as their lies are coming out, because we're getting clever, our technology is getting better, and we're able to check things for ourselves. We just need to snap out the hypnotism. They've been lying to us for 50, 60 years. They're taking over 100 million a day to give us Hollywood and brainwash us. And they're not just brainwashing us and taking 100 million a day, 40 billion a year that could go towards better causes. They're also in charge of this artificial weather modification that the government of Spain, the World Meteorological Organization.com, they're all telling us about this artificial weather modification, so that when we talk about it, oh, you chemtrails, you conspiracy theorists. No. These clouds that you see were not here hours ago. They're thin, they're not bubbly, they're not real clouds. They are made from these chemicals that are left, and after a few hours they start to create like a net. They're artificial. Now, if this is truly to make climate change not as big a problem, shouldn't we have independent investigation to confirm that secondary effects on human life that these chemicals have? Obviously, but we don't, because nobody knows about it. It's not a secret, but it's not really promoted. So we're raising awareness about this because we don't think we should be trusting their technologies, when our scientific experiments show us that we shouldn't trust them with so much our taxes either. So science, we can prove that they're lying to us about the space exploration. Common sense is asking, should we trust them with our air? Because it's the future. The kids are going to be breathing this in as well. So please take this with you. Check it out for yourself with a thermometer, with a camera, and with a telescope, or just your eye. You'll see along the coast or out at sea, an island. Check the math for that distance, and you'll know. You won't believe, you'll know that we're being lied to. And then it'll be up to you to tell your friends and family how they can check, and hopefully when there's enough of us, the politicians will say, oh, I want that vote, so yeah, we'll stop giving that money and we'll stop letting them do that. Or we'll change the system completely and put the power in our own hands, where we can vote for things with transparency. We've had it for 20 decades, 20 years already. I've given you a lot of information there. If you have any questions, please hit me.
Yeah, I'm a scientist. I
Good.
work with satellites.
Good.
Satellites would fall down.
Satellites are not necessarily in space. They could be above us. You receive data from a satellite. I totally believe you. But where is that satellite? Okay? We can show you evidence of satellites being held suspended in high altitude by balloon. But you can't show me a satellite in space. They're all cartoons. Check.
Have you ever been in a hot air balloon?
Yes, and I've seen the horizon at eye level. I've also been in an aeroplane and jumped out with a parachute. The horizon is always at eye level. It never is below your eye level. Now, in an aeroplane, if I look out the left and right window simultaneously, I should be looking down to find the horizon.
The Earth is way bigger than that.
Supposedly, but you see how you're laughing at me? I've given you a lot of scientific expertise that I've made from primary observations. Your reaction is a programmed reaction, because we're hypnotized from 3 years old to laugh at the idea that the Earth may be flat or a fourth dimensional shape or something we don't know, because we believe in the ball. We believe in gravity, even though it's a theory that just explains why a ball would work. Density is a law. We can measure it, we can manipulate it. If I put you in salt water, you float. If I put you in fresh water, you sink. Steam rises, it condenses, rain drops. Density is provable, gravity isn't. Evolution is a theory. Big Bang is a theory. Space exploration is secondary information that we haven't verified, so it is a belief. So I need you to go. No, don't be sorry about laughing. It's a programmed reaction. I was laughing for about 6 months about this when I heard that there was people that thought the Earth might be flat.
Yeah.
But now I've made my own observations with a thermometer camera, video camera, and looking at sea level, I know that we're being lied to. So I'm saying, I don't want you to be breathing in all them chemicals. I don't want our children... Sorry, that sounds terrible. I don't want children of our generation and the next generations to be breathing in these chemicals. I don't think that we should trust these authorities so much with our health. I don't think we should trust these authorities with our money when we can do science instead of beliefs, religious beliefs in what they show us. We're doing science and we're saying, no, this is not true. There's no curvature at water level.
I guess all I'll say is like, so my friend who works with like computing the trajectories for the satellites, right? Mm-hmm. All these equations that she's making, they wouldn't work out.
If it wasn't outer space.
If it weren't at low, like they wouldn't. So the only way that when they later get put into practice, that the satellites would float, is that if they take her equations and say thank you very much
and put them in the bin. Yeah. I know. Well, what do you think NASA's about? Everyone says, do you think all of NASA...
You're right, before I do actually have to
Okay. Well, I'll just answer your quick question. NASA's compartmentalised, satellites could be too, but maybe the data is valid.
But she works for ESA.
Maybe the data is valid because we're not saying that it's flat, we don't know. We're just saying that if it is flat, there's still like a magnetic field. So the globe could be the magnetic field. The stars move around the North Pole, it never moves in 10,000 years. You got it all there. So maybe what they're measuring, what they're working out, works on a magnetic field globe, but what is the Earth is the plane of inertia, and magnetically, you can watch magnetism, there's a plane of inertia, it's flat. We're on the flat nucleus of a big atmosphere. We've got a sun that heats and a moon that chills, yin-yang, electron, proton. You get me? I don't know what shape it is, but I'm saying science in the minuscule. You are pretty much an atom, you're a nucleus, you've got an electromagnetic field, supposedly you've got chakras, they're not solids, so neither are the planets. Check them with a camera, I better let you go. But do look into it and find me on YouTube if you get different results. I'm open-minded to change my mind if someone can present me counter-evidence, reproducible, not secondary information. My name is Howard George Stirrup. What was your name, sorry? Daniel, it's a pleasure to meet you. No, if you want I can scribble it down, but otherwise just look for, great.
Yes, okay, I really have to.
Don't worry, you look on your own observations and forget all that crap on YouTube because they could be misleading you.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I have time, I'll try to...
Of course, when you've got time, because we've all got busy lives, but when it's a lot of money, not just your money, my money, and people that are hungry in other countries, and when we're all breathing this shit in, it is important. So,
But you feel like you've done your research? Like
two years. I've been asking people to check the evidence and compare results. Right. So not information from other people, results. What results do you get from those experiments?
You're sure that your calculations are correct?
I've been asking Spanish and English-speaking people in Facebook groups for 2 years to check all the math. I've been going on websites, charts, and there's thousands, millions of people now doing these experiments and saying the same. But because the big-name scientists are scared of losing their jobs, astrophysicist just got interviewed for 2 hours on this, and she didn't know what he was doing. And at the end, she denied to do primary observations, even though he said, "Look, we can go to the water and make one now." And she denied to do it, even though she admitted secondary information is not as strong as primary observations. The astrophysicists daren't talk about this topic or test because they lose their jobs. I spoke to pilots and I had to blur their faces because they were worried that they were going to lose their jobs for admitting that the planes don't follow a curvature. They never dip their nose. Now you can say gravity pulls down, but it would pull the whole thing down. There's planes at water level that don't follow a curve. There's planes up there that don't follow a curve. In 12-hour flight, if you don't follow a curve, gravity might pull you down, but you'd be upside down. Check with pilots, check with all the experiments, you'll see we're being lied to.
They fly from
eastbound,
to
westbound.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I feel like you already have the crazy,
I've got the answer for everything. Nobody's ever flown from north to south, south to north. Not Richard Branson, not that Tesla guy, I forgot his name. You know, the guy with the electric car. No one's ever done it. No one's ever done it. They've only gone eastbound, westbound because a compass can follow north, westbound and come back to the same place. Eastbound comes to the same place. And you ask a pilot, why is it the same speed? Sorry, the same time. I'll let you go. Why is it the same time to fly to America from Europe and then to fly back from America to Europe if the Earth's spinning? I know I'm walking with you. If the Earth's spinning, you should have to fly faster.
I stopped listening, but then you have to repeat if you want.
Yeah. I'm walking with you because I don't. Right, so if an aeroplane's flying from Europe to America, and the Earth's turning that way, it should be a quick flight. And then when you fly from America to Europe, well, it should be a longer flight, but it isn't. Because the Earth's not turning, they're lying to us. Do you get me? All these things tell you.
No.
Go on.
I mean, right now, if I jump into the air,
Yeah,
the Earth is not going to keep on
I
moving
know.
without me if it were rotating.
but you can see
That's
gas.
because-
You can see gas and smoke defy gravity. So now you can't have it both ways. I'm not arguing with you. This is what I've been through. You can't have it both ways. If you see steam and smoke defying gravity, and then you see an aeroplane defying gravity, flying in a different way, the plane chooses where it wants to fly, and the gyroscope tells you that you're level with the floor. And the gyroscope, after 12 hours, tells you you're still in the same level position. You haven't gone around the ball.
But I don't see smoke and steam defying gravity.
Well, light one up, bruv. let's have a smoke.
Whatever it does, so I studied physics.
Yeah.
And the things that it does are perfectly explainable.
With calculations, but gravity's never been manipulated, so it's not the independent variable, so it's a theory.
Okay, sure.
Density's been manipulated, so it's provable.
But now you're not proving anything.
I'm not proving it. I'm suggesting that there's no evidence for gravity. There's only theories, and the theories only exist for the ball. But if there's no
everything is a
curvature,
theory.
no, not everything. There's two people talking, and if I put a flame under my hand, it's hot, and you can verify it's hot. You put an ice cube in your hand, it's cold. Some things are theoretical, some things are self-evident truths from primary observations, first-hand experience. Just to tell you this, and I've got to go back. If there's no measurable curvature, then if gravity exists, to not go on forever about if gravity exists, then it's pulling down, it's not pulling towards the centre. The theory of gravity pulling towards the centre only explains the ball that we see on television. We only see it on television. But if there's no measurable curvature, and there was a force called gravity, then we need to redefine that force. Do you get me?
But that's a lot of if, and it's relying on your central statement that gravity that the Earth is flat. Right?
Well, no, I didn't say it's flat. It could be fourth dimensional. I don't know, but it has to have curve if it's a ball. If there's no curve, it cannot be a ball. There would be measurable curvature. We agree on that one at least?
That there would be measurable curvature?
Have to be. Good. So that's why I'm asking you to check when you're at water level, because water levels out, doesn't it? So you should see landscape lost behind curvature. If you don't, it's because there isn't any curvature. Check the observation, and then you'll be like, that lad was onto something. And I'm not saying that gravity doesn't exist. I'm saying it might be a different thing than what we understand. Go for it.
My last question is, do you sometimes start looking outside your bubble and
all the time
and say okay, so the people who are, because surely there are people who are just like me and going flat Earth doesn't make sense.
Of course.
But then there are also people who will have tried
to prove me wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah. And do you know what?
So you looked them up.
I've been asking people for 2 years to compare evidence on these primary observations. Do you know how many people have compared results in 2 years? 0. And I'll end it with this one. I offered 10,000 euros on Spanish television for proof of curvature at water level. That's the main one.
Oh yeah?
Because I was desperate. I'm sick. I've been spending months arguing with people over secondary information and debating beliefs. I'm asking people to make a few primary observations and they won't make them. The pride won't let them make them. So I offered 10,000 euros and guess what? It's been 2 years. Nobody's presented counter evidence. Look into it, my friend. Thank you for that conversation. I really appreciate that. Take care.
The Earth is not a spinning ball. The Earth is not floating in space, and NASA liars. And there's plenty of websites for you to go on to. A good one is Eric Debay, 200 proofs. And lots of trouble. But if you go on to research FE Start, Globe Light, and then you get onto all the different websites and all the experiments and the different things that they've been doing. And they've done laser across water and
okay, thank you. Should I do something or
Yeah. Do you have Spanish friends?
no?
Well, just take this.
Yes, I
Good.
have friends.
Because here you can see even with the picture, but your Spanish friends can also read the exact details. If you leave a glass of water outside under the full moon and another glass in the darkness, both outside, after half an hour, the moonlight makes the water colder. You can check with a thermometer. Okay, so it's a feminine energy, an electron, and the male energy, proton, in the yin yang. Yeah, it's not crazy to think that this ball is bullshit, because you've only seen it on television. You've never seen any proof of curvature. Now, we've seen the opposite. When I look at an island like Ibiza, if we go to party, we go Ibiza, yeah? I look from Spain to Ibiza. It shouldn't be possible to see the island, but we see all of the island. It should be hidden behind curvature, but it's not. So are you going to believe your eyes, or are you going to believe their lies?
Do you have this one in English?
I might do, but I think I've left it in the van. I'm sorry. Have you got Instagram? Because I've got all this on Instagram in English. Or
Yes. I have. 1 minute.
yeah, I'll do it for you if you want. See what it is? We're trying to show people that science has become like a bit of a religion, because now people are believing scientists instead of doing the science. If we do the science, we see that we're being lied to. For 100 million a day, they take taxes from all over the world and say that it goes to agency from space. 100 million a day, 40 billion a year, that could help end world hunger, that could help research illnesses, disease, that could end the fires in Amazons when they happen. So all this money, 100 million a day, could be better spent on things that are important, instead of lying to us and brainwashing us from children to not believe our own senses. It's really important spiritually to know where you are. How can you be grounded if you don't know where you are? You think you're lost in space. You think that you're very small, you know? So if you may follow, you can see down here different experiments in English and Spanish. And I want you to do the experiment, because maybe I'm lying also.
Okay. Yes, of course.
And if you have,
I will check.
if you have any questions, please just send me a message on Instagram. I love to talk, and if you get results that are different from mine, I want to see them.
Okay.
That's science, yeah? What's your name, sorry?
Zamina.
Zamina, my name's Howard. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
have a lovely day. Please tell your friends and family how they should check for themselves. When we're many people, then the people that take the money from us won't take the money from us, and they won't brainwash us. But we need to be at least half the people.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Somebody else put your Instagram.
My Instagram is my name, Howard George Stirrup, the same as YouTube. I thought that shouldn't ever change, but you never know. Thank you, whoever's asking. Hey Harry,
Hey.
we just called, but you're obviously busy, so we thought we'd just send you a quick video message just to say that we wish you were here, but we're having a great time, and thanks for inspiring us to do what we're doing.
Yeah, can't wait to catch up and tell you all the van tales. But it's you've done it, so you know. We're just
racking up some big
we're in
mileage.
Spain and it feels loads
we
better.
Just had a good day off, so that was nice. I don't know if you saw it. The music man joined us, Alex.
Yeah, the Flat Earth man, Alex. We've got some songs recorded with him. I'll send you a link later, Harry.
Yeah, take care. We'll speak soon.
Yeah, hope you're well,
speak
baby.
soon.
Come to Spain, mate. You're missing out. We'll have a great time. Catch you soon, Harry. Bye, mate.